Long ago, in the ancient kingdom of Eldoria, where snow-capped mountains met whispering forests and skies shimmered with dragon fire, peace reigned under the watchful eye of the dragon riders. They were guardians warriors bonded by soul and flame to the great dragons of the sky. But peace is a fragile thing. One bitter autumn, a curse awoke in the forgotten tombs of the Shadow Vale, where traders of old had been buried with no rites, no songsenly silence and rotting hatred. On the night of the blood moon, the dead began to rise. Clad in ancient armor, their eyes burned green with death's magic. They swept through villages like wildfire, turning the living into flesh-hungry husks. By the time the alarm reached High Flame Keep, the heart of Eldoria, half the kingdom had already fallen. Among the surviving riders stood Kael Arden, the youngest dragon rider in a century, barely 20 winters old. His dragon, Zephyros, was a storm-scaled beast born of wind and lightning. While many dismissed Kael as a reckless boy, none could deny the bond he shared with his dragon known deeper than any since the Great Flame War. Kael watched the dying embers of the council fire in the war chamber as elder riders argued. "Our flames won't harm them," shouted Lord Theric. "Strike their heads," growled another. "We need the Flame Relic," said a third. "That's a myth," someone scoffed. Kael stepped forward, voice calm but firm. "No, it's not. The Flame Relic is real. My father died protecting the map to it. He told me it lies in the ruins of Nereth Moor beyond the Shadow Vale." The chamber fell silent. "That's suicide," said Lady Nyra, a scarred rider. "No one returns from the Vale." "I'll return," Kael said. "I have to." Before dawn, Kael soared into the cold skies on Zephyros, the wind lashing his face. Below, the land twisted and blackened. Forests had withered into clawed hands, and once bright rivers flowed sluggish with rot. It took 2 days to reach the ruined city of Nereth Moor, where the bones of giants lay in shattered towers. As Kael landed, undead shadows stirred. But Zephyros roared, lightning dancing in his throat, and the corpses fled. Deep in the ruins, Kael found a sealed chamber with carvings of dragons and men standing as one. At its heart burned a floating crystal, glowing gold and red, the Flame Relic. When Kael reached for it, a voice echoed in his mind. "To wield me, you must burn your fear." A vision struck him, his father falling, his village consumed, his friends turned. But Kael clenched his fist. "I'm not afraid anymore." Fire engulfed him, but it did not burn. Instead, it sank into his soul. Zephyros roared in answer, and his scales turned golden with flame. Kael returned to High Flame Keep, riding like a comet across the sky. The capital was under siege. Zombies clawed at the gates, moaning curses from forgotten tongues. Dragon riders fought desperately, but flame alone could not destroy the horde. Until Kael arrived. With the Flame Relic pulsing in his chest, he raised his blade, now alight with ancient fire, and dove into battle. Zephyros unleashed a blast not of ordinary flame, but purifying fire, golden inferno, that turned the undead to ash with a single sweep. "For Eldoria," Kael cried. He and Zephyros danced through the sky, raining fire and hope. Riders rallied behind him, their own dragon's flames, sparking anew in the presence of the relic's power. One by one, the undead fell, burned not just by heat, but by ancient light that shattered the curse within. As dawn rose, so did the cheers of the living. But the war wasn't over. Atop the dark spire in the center of the Vale, the source of the curse still breathed. The Necro King, once a dragon rider turned mad with power, his body a stitched horror of bone and rot. He had once been called Vaelgor the Brave, until death had claimed him, and he had claimed death in return. Knowing he had to end it, Kael flew to the spire alone. Inside, the air crackled with dark magic. Ghostly dragons, corrupted and broken, soared through the skies above. Vaelgor sat on a throne of skulls. So, the last spark of Eldoria comes to die. Kael stepped forward. No, I come to end your curse. You think fire can stop death? No, Kael said, but light can. With a cry, Kael thrust the relic into the air. Light exploded, not just flame, but memory. Songs of old, whispers of the Jesliapalm, first dragons, the cries of the brave who had fallen. The souls of long-dead riders surged forth, their spirits burning through the shadows. Vaelgor screamed as the light pierced his chest, unraveling his form. The spire crumbled. Kael returned to the capital carrying the relic and a new title, Flamebearer of Eldoria. The undead plague was gone. Forests slowly returned. Children laughed once more. And in the sky, dragons soared freely, no longer beasts of war, but symbols of hope. Kael never called himself a hero, but to every village he saved, to every orphan he smiled at, and to every rider who followed him into fire, he was the one who burned the darkness away. The last flame that never went out. The end.